Hello, my posse. Hello, all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for coming by to my living room today. It's very gloomy today. I have as many lights on as I can and debated on whether to do this video on such a gloomy day, but I'm counting on all you to bring sunshine to this video. Today is a video that every once in a while I'll do one of these, and I just thought today was an important time for all of you to join a prayer group for some of us that know people that are struggling with some health conditions and that could use some prayers. As you know, we battled COVID in this house, and as all my posse and my followers and my dedicated people that I have follow me knows the battle that I had with my husband and his battle with COVID. April 1st, he was on a ventilator for 9 days and was not expected to survive. He did survive. He came home 17 days later, and I attribute that to many, many of you and many, many of your prayers. I don't honestly think in my heart of hearts that he would have come home if I did not know that all of you were praying so hard for me too. I had the COVID. I was sick, but I don't even want to think about how sick he was, being on a ventilator, isolated from his family, waking up afraid, not knowing if he was going to see any of us. And of course, us also, in April, it's still no different, I guess, when you have it. I don't even know if they allow your family in yet, but it's a terrible, terrible thing that we all are up against with this COVID. And unless you go through it, you can't even comprehend the fear, the anxiety that goes with the COVID. And I'm just grateful that all of you lifted him up in prayer. And I'm just going to say that one of my subscribers, Elena Stanley, hi Elena, she started a prayer chain for us and my husband. I don't know, I think she said, she said it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And she kind of lifted us in prayer at 10 a.m. And I did it, my family did it, my friends joined in at 10 a.m. in the morning. And I remember my husband saying that when he was in bed, he just felt this force in the morning, like he wanted to get out of bed. And he would write notes to the nurse on the pad of paper and said, going home April 20th. And the nurse would call me and say, what? Every morning he writes this note. What's the deal? And I'd say, oh, well, April 20th is our 46th wedding anniversary. And she says, well, he thinks he's coming home. And of course, at that time, they didn't think he was. But he just said, and he did. He came home the 17th in time for our 46th anniversary, for the new subscribers that don't know that. But he said in the morning, like at 10, 11 o'clock, he felt this energy and this force come over him that wanted him to get out of bed. And many mornings they had to come in and kind of knock him down because he was getting out of bed. And he just said he just felt energized. So there's something about this 10 a.m. prayer that went around from Texas to California to, all of you everywhere that were praying for us. And he just felt the energy. And I thought, well, I know there's a lot of people that that are battling many things, not just this COVID. This COVID is a terrible, terrible, terrible sickness. But there's other things in life that are equally as devastating of a diagnosis also. And these people are battling that, and the fear of not only COVID and staying safe and being in your house and trying to maintain your family safety, and then being sick and having your own disability of sickness on top of that is just an enormous amount of pressure for those that have a diagnosis that's hard on them. And I thought today we would reflect on a few of my subscribers, and I'm sure there's many. And all of you know somebody, join in the prayer group. And I thought it would be nice if all of you, and I'm hoping for a lot of views here, not for me to benefit, but just views so I know that you're in the prayer group with us. And I thought 10 o'clock, if we could all come together and pray for our loved ones, for these that I'm going to mention, would be just a powerful, 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 powerful journey for God to hear us pray. And of course, I'm asking for prayers for my husband. He is doing good. There's a lot of side effects with his COVID. He has a lot of different things. He has anxiety, which I told you about before, that he gets, and he wakes up. So, we're always praying for my Denny, always. I'm grateful that he's here. I'm grateful that I have him for the holidays. Some of you may not have a loved one for the holidays. Maybe they did not pass from COVID. Maybe this is your first holiday without your loved one. And for you, I send a prayer. And all of you pray for those that are alone this holiday, who have lost someone this year or someone passed that they really cannot forget. But for me, I want to lift up Pat Blough. She's one of my, it's Blough. I hope I said it right, Pat. She's one of my subscribers who was just diagnosed with a stomach tumor, and she's undergoing some chemo, and she believes God will lift her up, and I pray. Pat has been just a great supporter for me, so I want to support her and lift her up in our prayers, and pray that her healing will be fast and positive. And the other one I want to pray for is my good subscriber Brenda. Brenda has been battling breast cancer for quite a while, and she's got the most, energetic, fun personality. She's crazy, she's witty. We've emailed several times, and she has her good days, she has her bad days, but she's very positive. She believes in the Lord that he'll lift her up and heal her. And so we're going to add her to our, hopefully, 10 o'clock, but anytime you get a chance to pray for these people or anybody that you know would be great. But I don't know, 10 o'clock just seemed to work for us. I don't know. So praying for Brenda for a fast and a good recovery from what she's been going through. And of course, we all know Natalie, the beauty diva, and who doesn't know Natalie on here? Natalie, all of a sudden, just kind of like out of the blue, was not feeling well. She had some numbness going on here and there, and went to the doctors. And Natalie, and she's mentioned it on her channel, so I'm not saying anything that I shouldn't, is battling MS. And it's just one of those diseases that you don't even think that you're good one day, and then the next day, you have this diagnosis that can just throw you. But, all of you, she's big on YouTube. She has many subscribers that are praying for her. I'm adding her because I think Natalie is just a ray of light and a sunshine for all of us. And I love her positivity. I love the way she talks, and I know she's a fighter, and I know with God's help and all of your prayers, she's going to get through this. She's showing some signs of progress. There are good days and bad days, but let's just lift Natalie up in our prayers in this group. That would be awesome. Love you, Nat. And also, I have my eye doctor, of all things. His fiance is 39 years old, and her name is Erin. I don't know her last name. She was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer at 39 years old, and is battling the battle, let me tell you. But she is not going down without a fight. She's going to pick herself up, and I've told you the story, and I'll just tell you again real quick. I knew somebody when I worked for the surgeon's office who was battling stage 4 pancreatic cancer. My surgeon did surgery on her, and he came back and he said, yeah, she's got about 3 months at best. And we were like, oh my God, because we loved this girl. She was just, she's in her late 40s, early 50s. And we thought, oh geez, that's terrible. So she came in every so often for a checkup, and then we didn't see her. And through the years, we thought about her and thought, oh boy, something must have happened. We haven't seen her. So one day, probably 4 years later, she walks to our office with a couple of dozen donuts and throws them on the desk and say, I just want to say thank you. And we were like, oh my gosh, I want to think her name was Mary. It escapes me now. I don't know why. Lynn, Mary, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But anyway, we were like, what? You're okay? She goes, oh yeah, I'm fine. She goes, in fact, I'm moving to Florida with my fiance and we're getting married. And I was like, and my doctor was there too, and he was like dumbfounded. And she was like, we all said to her, well, I mean, you were so sick. She goes, oh yeah, but I wasn't going to take that for an answer. She said, when I had my chemo, she said, I would lay down on the floor, I would close my eyes, and I would tell that chemo where to go. You better go to my pancreas. That's where you belong. You go. And she said she would lay on the floor every day praying and guiding that chemo to where it should go. And she was in remission and going off to get married. And my doctor even said, I'm flabbergasted because she was that bad. So, and she was a big believer in God, and she prayed, and her family prayed. So, there is power in prayer, and that was a very happy ending. And I've had many of those actually working for the surgery department. I've had many miracles come before my desk that we were shocked at. So they all had great attitudes. They had positive thinking, and they all thought, no, not gonna let that diagnosis get me. Instead of going, oh, poor me, no. So there's many great stories. And like I say, my husband is one with the COVID only because they practically pronounced him dead. Look, here he is. So I'm praying hard for Erin. And also, our friend, and Dolores, our baking diva. What would we do without our fat food and our calories and our great recipes from Dolores? Dolores, I don't know, Dolores found me when I only had a couple of hundred subscribers, I think, and we just took a hankering to each other. We started to chat, we started to call, we did some collaborations together, and she's my sister. And some of you said, oh, you'll see, hi sis, and some of you have said, oh, I didn't know you were Dolores' sister. I'm not really her blood sister, but we have so much in common. And I know when Denny and I were both sick, she lifted us up in prayer. She had a special video asking for prayers for me and my husband. And so she's my heart and soul. We chat on the phone. I have sinuses today. Sorry about that. We chat on the phone, and she's just amazing. And Dolores has been going through some really rough times, and her husband has been sick. He's had prostate cancer. He's going through medication that's just making him not the cameraman that she once knew, and he's battling that. And then her son was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and he's had some brain surgeries that they do now for Parkinson's to stop the shaking and stuff. And he's come through it really, really well. There's a long road to go, but he's looking good. I've seen some of his pictures, and from where he started to where he's at now, he looks so happy. He looks so relaxed, and I think it's a lot of it prayers and the fact that his mom takes such good care of her. All of us as caregivers of people who have been sick or are sick need prayers too, because we are all like Dolores, taking care of her husband and the worries that we have. Same with me with Denny. I mean, I'm not whining about myself, but to be a caregiver and to worry about the ones that you love and try to do and say the right thing to help them, we get exhausted from it. I mean, it's a debilitating thing for us to go through it and watch the people that we love in so much agony, as I'm sure it is with Erin and Pat's family and Brenda's family. And it's just it's tough sometimes for us, but we have a job to do. God created us. He gave us a job to do, and we all do it. And it isn't as bad as what they're going through. So I want you to lift Dolores up in prayer, and her husband Tim, and her son Scott. They're just magnificent people. And if you have anybody on that you want added to the list, just put it in the comments. Your comments can go to these people. Your comments can be, pray for. And everybody read the comments. And if you have somebody that you want to add in those comments that need lifting up in prayer, that you're worried about, put them in the comments. I mean, you don't have to worry about, saying anything to me, but I think it would be a great thing to just list them so we can all read them and try to help people in prayer. There's nothing like the power of prayer. And I'm just going to throw in, and the last one is Kathleen from Design and Entertainment. Kathleen has been with me since I think I first bursted on here. And I just love Kathleen. She's in California. And Kathleen tragically lost her son about a year and a half ago. And this has been very difficult for Kathleen to get over. I think the loss of a child is something that I can't even fathom that. I can't even think about that happening and what you go through. I mean, your husband, anybody, but a child is just really tough. And Kathleen is having a hard time. She's having some difficulties with God, and she's having and rightfully so. Why me? Why me? And so I pray for Kathleen every day, and I would love her to go back to be in the sunshine that she was on her channel. I know she's discouraged. I know she's mad. I know she's feeling very sad right now, especially during the holidays. Her son was very young and taken from her very suddenly. And so I want to lift her up in our daily prayers, if that's okay with you. I love you, Kathleen. I love all you girls. I mean, I wish you all the best. I wish you healing. I pray for each and every one of you, and everyone that is suffering right now during the holidays due to a loss of someone, or someone that is sick and that you can't do anything about. The one thing that we can do is pray, and to lift up people in our prayer is the one strong thing that we can all do for them. So please join me. And I hope that you view this. And like I say, I don't want the views because of any YouTube monetary reasons. I want the views to know that you've heard this and that you are lifting up these people and anyone that you know in prayer. And I want everybody to think positive, be happy, be kind, and get through this crazy times that we're coming through. And, we're all stuck in the house, but, it could be a lot worse. We could be a lot sicker. We could be a lot worse than just staying in the house and doing poor me's. Not all of people do that, but there are some. It's like, oh my God, I can't get through this. But you know what? When you're stricken with a bad disease and you need help and you need medical care for that, it's a lot more difficult than it is thinking about the COVID. I mean, you have to think about it. You have to be safe. I mean, let's face it. You can't let your guard down with this virus that's going around, because you let your guard down, as you've read in the paper. A couple of people were quarantined for so long and then let their guard down, went to eat, and they ended up dying. In fact, a couple of older people in my Michigan here passed away, probably on the news, weeks apart, days apart, and one was like seconds apart. So you let your guard down, and you can't take any chances. And I know it's hard, I know it's bad, and some of you don't want to wear masks. Not everybody's been pretty good. There was a couple people that I ran into Walmart last night, and there were a couple people in there without it, and it's like, it's the only thing we got right now. Some people say it doesn't work, I don't know. But anyway, off of that, just be safe, and remember, there are people that are going through a different battle than COVID. So let's pray. And I just think, I don't know why, you can do anytime you want, but let's try to join hand in hand at 10 o'clock in the morning. It just seems to be a powerful time for me. Like I say, it helped Denny. So thank you for listening, and please share this video with your friends so they may join in and help these people that are battling this whatever disease or whatever diagnosis that they have. And thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate you coming into my room today, even though it's so dreary out. But dreary's out there. happiness and sunshine is in here. So let's give a ray of light and hope to these people and anybody that you know. I love you, and I'll see you I'll see you in a few days. Take care of yourself. God bless you. Bye-bye.